This is a Jonathan's World Remix. This is a Jonathan's World Remix. This is Jonathan's World Remix. Oh yeah, Jonathan's World.
Hello, I'm here at MCO, Orlando International Airport. I'm delayed, so I'll be arriving at Burlington at 10. I want to talk about news sources. I'm sitting down here and they have CNN News playing. I haven't really thought about the source of where I get my news. I normally get my news from the Cynic, Vermont Cynic. I go to Google News, and the top stories there, I usually check them out. Not on a daily basis, but normally on a weekly basis. Most of the time, the most popular news, you see things like Paris Hilton, and I know it might be interesting to know about other people's lives, but our lives are the most important. So where do you get your news? Who do you trust? It's pretty interesting because sometimes you get news and the sources aren't as good as you would like them to be. I really don't know where to get my news from nowadays. It's pretty hard to say, oh, I'm gonna get it from here, I'm gonna get it from there, or hey, let me read New York Times and watch CNN and Fox News, and the stories that seem to be, and all of them must be true, right? I think the media has a lot of ways to confuse, not brainwash, but confuse the people of the United States to think certain things are more important than they actually are. For example, I was watching Dan's video, and he taught me how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Thanks, man. But I was watching a video about security in your school, how they're making you wear ID tags. I went to school in New York. Right now I'm in college. And it's pretty interesting because in New York, when I went to high school, every day I had to walk through a metal detector, take off all the metal I had in school on me. Only lockers we had were for gym, and the gym lockers had to be emptied out every day. If you rang in the metal detectors, they would scan you with a wand. They would go over your body, almost as if we were criminals. But the thing is, it's pretty funny because the thing is, in the end, there were fights every day in my school. I'm pretty sure there's not fights in every school every day, but in my school there were fights every day. Seriously, it wasn't even safe to eat lunch in the school cafeteria. That's how bad the system was. And I'm pretty sure it's not like that in every school. I'm not saying it's like that in every school, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be wary of what is really going on. But what I'm trying to say is, you get your news sources, and most people just see what they see and they believe it for what it is, and they don't question the authority. They don't question what they're watching or what they're reading in the newspaper, because just because it's from a newspaper or radio doesn't make it more believable or more newsworthy than something that you see on CNN or on MSNBC. What if the real issues were reported? Wouldn't that be a bit more interesting to read and to know about than something that's going on in someone else's life that has nothing to do with you? The overall story, If there's a fight in my school and I hear a news report that there's a fight in my school, okay, that's interesting. Okay, it might have affected me, I might have seen it. But what does that really have to do with me? Seriously. People watch the news because they want to know what is going on in the world today and how is that going to affect them. When you watch the news, they talk about terrorism and terror threats and all that stuff, and you think, how does that affect me? And what is the danger that I'm in? Well, what you see in the media is the complete opposite. You hear every day that we're in this great danger and times are really bad. I mean, it's obvious times are bad. They're not bad for the reasons people are saying they're bad. They're bad because the U.S. education system sucks. They're bad because people don't have money to go to college, and so they're uneducated and can't get real jobs. And they're bad. They get upset when illegal immigrants take the only jobs they could get for less money. Well, of course, if a company's going to hire someone for less money, they're going to do it. It only makes sense because it's all economics. So where do you get your real news from? Not the news that you see every day everywhere, but the news that actually affects you. That's my question. That's my question.